Hey there everyone, it's Brent Downey from adminhero.com, and we're going to look at how to customize page layouts in Lightning Experience. Now this is as of spring 16, and this is currently in an open pilot status, which means that it's not available currently in production or sandboxes, but you can begin to play with this in your developer org. And I would highly encourage that you do this so that you become familiar with how to access this information once it goes GA, hopefully in a very near release. And we're going to look at how to customize the account page. And what I wanted to do first is show you what an account looks like in Lightning Experience if you haven't seen it already. And so we've got a default page layout here that Salesforce provides by default when you activate Lightning Experience. And we've got a highlights panel up here at the top. And then you can see we actually have a split screen view here. So on the left-hand side, we've got our related list information, and this includes the account insights, which is industry-related news, the Twitter feed if you've got a social accounts and contacts activated, and then all of our related lists. And you can see I've got a couple of contacts, opportunities, and so forth here. And then we've got a details link where if you click on this, you're going to see the details of the specific record as it is, of course, in your Salesforce Classic environment. Obviously, the layout's a little bit different. We've got the field names stacked over the field values instead of to the left of the field, which actually is a little bit of a change, but as much as I've been using Lightning, it's actually nice because your field labels don't wrap around and into the value of the field quite as much. And then on the right-hand side is where we see our activity. So this is where we can generate new emails. I can see the tasks that need to be completed on this record and then collaborate. So our chatter feed is here. So very nice to be able to edit and modify. But editing your page layouts in the future will be handy because you might have some custom Visualforce pages, perhaps some Lightning-enabled App Exchange partner apps that you want to put into a page layout. So we're going to look at how to do that. First thing we need to do is click on the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner and click on Setup Home. And this is going to take us into our Setup menu, which I actually have already open in this tab. Now on the left-hand side, we're going to find something called the Lightning App Builder, and I've been using Quick Find quite a lot in Lightning Experience. So we're going to go and type Lightning in or begin to type it. And now what we'll see here is Lightning App Builder under the user interface header. So we'll click on that. And this is going to take us into the App Builder. Now, you do more than likely need to activate the pilot. So that means you'll need to check this box and click on Save, and that'll automatically enroll you in this pilot. There's nothing else you need to do to get this activated in your developer org. And again, this is developer org only, so not in production, not in sandbox as of spring 16. Once that's activated, you'll have this new related list section here called Lightning Pages. And so this is where we're going to create the various pages for our objects. And in our example, we're going to look at doing this with the account. So I'm going to click on the New button, and it's going to open up a nice little wizard that's going to walk us through a couple of steps for building this out. Now, you should note that on the left, we have the ability to create an app page, and this is for Salesforce One. So this is where you'll also customize your Salesforce One experience along with your record page. The app builder for Salesforce One is currently available, and you should be able to do that in your production orgs right now. What we're going to focus on is the record page, and we're going to click on New Record Page. And then what's really nice about this is unlike Salesforce's Salesforce Classic's page layout editor, where you only have one layout template, which is essentially one scrollable screen, we actually have three different templates to choose from. So the first is the Salesforce standard template that we just looked at, where we've got a header and we've got two different sized columns. And we can also add another template with a header, a subheader, and two columns. And then we can do a header with one column. I'm going to use this one just to show you that you might want to eventually align Salesforce Classic with Lightning Experience. Maybe that's something that you want to do in the future, and maybe have everything kind of in one list view and make that more familiar for your users. So we're going to work with that use case. I'm going to choose header and one column. Any of the other templates you choose, the same functionality we'll look at will be accessible. So I'm going to choose header and one column. We're going to click on Next. And now we need to give this a label. And so we're going to call this account layout, and then we need to choose an object. And for this example, we're going to choose account. All right, now once those have been applied, we're going to click on Finish, and then Salesforce is launching this really nice app builder, and it's very familiar to the dashboard builder if you've done that before, and it's literally drag and drop. So on the left-hand side, what we have are all the standard components. These are things that Salesforce provides to us out of the box. And then if you've got any custom components, these might be things like pages that you have developed. Maybe you've got some apps installed that have specific Lightning components for the object, the related object. You can pull that information in as well, and this is where the custom section would contain that detail. If you're curious to know what apps are available for Lightning Experience, you can click on the Get More on App Exchange here in the bottom left, and that will take you to the App Exchange and point you to the Lightning Experience enabled apps on the App Exchange. On the right-hand side is our page layout detail, and so we see that information that we've already populated on the previous screen. And then in the middle is our page viewer, and this is where we're actually going to build our layout. So I'm going to look at what I have standard and custom available to me, and there's a couple of components. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to pull in the highlights panel. Now notice you've got two sections here that you can populate. So I'm going to drag the highlights panel to the top. And this is that panel we saw that is now showing me the account name, some of the fields that have been predefined for me here in that header. And that's really helpful for my users to be able to see that. Now next, I think it's important that my users have the chatter feed because they're leveraging that quite heavily. So we're going to populate that. Now notice that I can drag this into either item. These components are very modular, and all that we've selected from a layout perspective is how many various placeholders do we want to have for our modules to live. So I can put the feed in below the header, and now you see that this begins to pull in the detail, and I get a preview of that right away, so I can see if that looks like how I want it to display. Okay, now what we can do is I'm going to pull in some additional details, and I want to pull in the record detail information. So we'll pull that in below chatter. And again, we're kind of building a standard layout. This is what we've seen on Salesforce Classic. So we've got, if you don't usually have your header information, but we're going to populate that, and then our chatter details, and now our detail section of the record. All right, now below that, we want to populate our related lists. So I'm going to find the related list object and pull it down here at the bottom. So you can see very easy to navigate to add this information in. All right, so from there, I think that that's looking pretty good. I do want to add the Twitter feed, and I want to add that to just above chatter and just below my header. So I'm going to find Twitter. We're going to pull that over here and display that. Okay, great. There's the Twitter element. So let's start with that. Let's see how that works, and let's take a look at it for real. So we're going to go over to the upper right-hand corner. We're going to click on Save, and that's going to save those changes. And then I get this little message that lets me know that this page needs to be activated in order for users to see it. And so I can choose to not activate it yet, just simply save it. Maybe I want to work on it a little bit later, or I want to activate it and test it out. And that's actually what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to click on Active. And then I need to choose who to activate this for. I'm going to choose the active checkbox here, and we're going to override the current system default page. Okay, and it's important to note with this right now in Pilot, there can't be multiple layouts per object. So it's literally kind of a all or not, well, not all or nothing, but everyone's on the same exact layout. So this change would apply to everyone in the developer org in this case. All right, so that has been activated. So let's go back and take a look at that page layout on the account. So we'll click back to the account, and we'll do a refresh in the browser, and let's see what that looks like. All right, so here's my account with the new page layout, and you can see the various components that we've added. So it's now one single column. I get a nice view across the whole width of the screen. I've got my header page here. Here's my Twitter section that we've added, and then my chatter section here below. Then we go right into our details area, and if we keep scrolling past details, here are my related list items available for me to view. So that gives us a little bit better of a classic experience in Salesforce Lightning. Now, I will say that I don't prefer this, and I don't think that this particular layout creates effective users. So I would encourage you to experiment with the different layouts, find what works best for you guys, and make sure that it's usable by your users. Don't ever be afraid to pull a user in and get their opinion, and even allow them to provide feedback to help you as you're actually building this out, and let some folks trial it out. So that's how you activate and create page layouts in Salesforce Lightning Experience.